What is up? What is up? It's Noah here with Youngblood MMA. In this video, we'll be taking a first glance at January 2025 in the UFC. And we have two events in this month of January. On the 11th, we have Dern versus Ribas 2, which is a rematch that we probably don't need to see. And then we also have UFC 311, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan 2, and that's a rematch I think everyone wants to see. This is really an interesting situation that we're in, where we're coming off of, 3-4 weeks of no fights, no UFC bouts, no fight nights, no pay-per-view cards. And what we start off with is a card full of fighters that are on the pendulum of wins and losses, going back and forth, wins and losses, a lot of new fighters that are having their debut in the UFC. You got Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas having a rematch. It's still going to be a good fight. And you got Mackenzie Dern. She's coming off of a win against Godinez, and she has some better striking. Looks like she's been working on it since fighting Limoges. And then you got Amanda Ribas, who's coming down and getting a go at strawweight here, I think indefinitely after having some losses up in the women's flyweight division. You got Cesar Almeida. He's having another, what was his 7th UFC fight, 6th UFC fight. Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. The thing with this bout is essentially the winner of this fight, they get to fight someone in the top 15, lower ranked of the top 15. But it gives them a chance to get into the rankings there. It gives Curtis a chance to get back in the rankings. I know he's probably going to want that back, but the guy's getting old. He's 37 years old. 37, just came off a loss against Brendan Allen too. I mean, a lot of rematches here. I'm not a huge fan of rematches unless the fight was really close. And I don't like waiting too long. I want to see him right away. Especially for these title fight rematches. Like, let's book that thing 4 months down the road. I don't want to wait 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years to do a rematch. It's ridiculous. You got Austin Bashi here, got a lot of hype. I'm a big fan. I watched him on the Contender Series. That kid is awesome. He's just hungry. Comes with a lot of pressure. I'm going to be very excited to see that one. You have Ior Peteria on the prelims of Vegas 101. Basically on the same card as Cesar Almeida, who we lost to. Let's move on to UFC 311. You got, this is a great card. Everybody knows that. It's pretty clear. You got two title bouts. You have Islam Makhachev and Umar Nurmagomedov from the same team. They are both fighting for gold on the same night. That's going to be interesting. I feel like Khabib's going to feel a little overwhelmed. One of them's going to get distracted. I'm toying with the idea of probably, I feel like that's going to affect one of them to not win. Maybe. I don't know. We can't know everything. I'm not God. They could both win. They could both lose. Whatever, right? Anything can happen on fight night. You got Arman Tsarukyan. This is going to be Islam's hardest matchup. And I love Arman Tsarukyan. I think that'd be crazy. Imagine if Arman Tsarukyan beat Islam Makhachev and takes his belts. That's going to be a crazy night. Which I think that might actually be healthy for the lightweight division. We're running out of contenders in lightweight. We're going to get some buffer time to see some of the cream come to the top. Maybe we see Renato Moicano beat Beneil Dariush, and then Islam Makhachev gets a rematch against Tsarukyan, gets his belt back. Meanwhile, Renato Moicano fights Charles Oliveira. Although I don't like the idea of killing one of those guys off. We got to preserve and build the narrative here in the lightweight division. But I like the fact we got two lightweight bouts on the card. If Renato Moicano wins against Dariush, that's his 5th win in a row. Maybe we'd give him a matchup against a winner or a loser of Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. I don't know what to do with Dariush. If Dariush wins, as he can win, he's a plus 190 underdog. It's still pretty close. Probably won't pick him to win, but that would be very interesting. Or if Arman Tsarukyan beat Makhachev and he beat him in a rematch and then he fights Charles, I don't hate that fight. I would be down for that. See a 5-round fight between the two. But imagine Arman loses to Charles and then Charles loses to Islam and we're in this weird This awkward love triangle. So that's how it goes, man. Styles make fights. Oh no, we could actually have Moicano fight Pimblett if he beats Michael Chandler. We could do that. What are the rankings like anyway right now? I thought that was strange. You're gonna give Paddy Pimblett a ranked number 7 Michael Chandler, and you're only going to give Renato Moicano a Beneil Dariush. Hey, they both win. They can do a season of tough together, and then they can have a fight. Winner of that fight maybe fights another top 5 guy, and then they get the title shot when all the dust is settled. Enough of lightweight. We got to go talk about Merab. Regarding Merab versus Umar, this is getting really built up. I'm getting hyped for this fight. I think it's hard to say, man. I was originally picking Merab, and then I saw how he was responding to him basically being forced to fight Umar. If I was him, I still would have given myself some extra time to prep for this fight. But he just jumped right in, man. He jumped right in. You need to have respect. You don't deserve this fight. You would give a gift. Yeah, you would have given a gift. You would have no respect. Let's move down the card. We got Yuri Prohaska versus Jamal Hill. Dude, we've been wanting to see this fight for a long time. Let's see. Gosh, we could get a good finish. This could kill Jamal Hill's career, dude. If he loses to Yuri, who is he going to fight? Is he going to fight Khalil Roundtree and then he's going to lose again? No, I think Jamal Hill has a good chance against Yuri. If Yuri is still having some problems from getting brutally KO'd by Pereira, then I could see how that could affect him. I love Yuri. Jamal Hill's just annoying, but I can't deny it. Jamal Hill's a great fighter. I don't know if I agree or disagree with what Chael Sonnen said about how he wouldn't be ranked in those days of the UFC, but dude, where is Jan Blachowicz is fighting Carlos Olberg, I think in February or March. You got Reiner de Ritter, he's on this card as well. And RDR, hopefully he doesn't disappoint me again like he did when he fought Gerald Meerschaert. So I want to see him do well. He's awkward. He's got a lot of pressure. Johnny Walker, hopefully he doesn't get brutally KO'd again. Okay, Peyton Talbot might get fraud checked. We're going to see. Got Jelton Almeida and Sergey Spivak as well in heavyweight on this card. And they are surging to the top. This is a good fight to make. I wouldn't have minded seeing this actually headlining the prelim card over Johnny Walker and Guskov. They should have totally done that. These guys they're up there for title contention. Give them a year. I'm excited for that. There's a few mid fights on this card. Zachary Reese, Cedric Dumas. That's pretty mid. Early prelims, Grant Dawson versus Diego Ferreira. I'm looking forward to this, dude. I'm on the Dawson train. Let's go, man. Let's go. Aylin Perez, she's going to twerk for us. That's pretty much it for January. And then come soon, probably within the next week or so, you're going to be getting content on Fight Night Saudi Arabia, Fight Night Riyadh, Adesanya versus Imavov. Looking forward to that. That's going to be killer. I can't wait to start getting my picks built out for that fight. Then we have UFC 312 in February 8th. Mid-January, you'll start seeing some videos on that. Cannonier versus Rodriguez. That was a weird matchup. Oh, gosh. They really going to do our boy Jared like that, man? That's tough. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm excited. I just hate that they are totally blue balling us for UFC 311, man. They had us sitting out here without any fights. They're going to pull Dern and Ribas off of that Tampa card. They're going to put them in the Apex. Why did they do this, man? I swear, we always get these women title bouts, these random heavyweight fights, you know, a flyweight bout, and they just stack these cards up with fighters that people aren't really interested in watching. And then they have a banger of a fight right after that. And then we have another dry spell a month and a half later. And then we get Alex Pereira coming out. So I don't know, we're going to see how that plays out, but we'll see you guys on the next video. Again, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you get a notification when my new videos come up. And until then, make sure to leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned.